Hi, my name is Robert Dean. I will be showing you how to prepare a dry plant specimen so we can determine the dry weight of a germinated seed for experimental purposes. First, we need our germinated seedlings. As you can see, here they are. We will pat them down gently to remove any excess water or soil so we can get an accurate measurement of their weight without the water or soil on them. Please note it may be a good idea to weigh the parchment paper that you will place the seedlings on before you put them on the parchment paper and put them in the oven. This could stick to the seedlings and be impossible to remove without breaking or damaging your seedling. Here I am weighing the seedling with the water content inside so I can compare it against the dry weight seedling. Next, I am going to grab my parchment paper and tear a small piece of it. I will demonstrate weighing the parchment paper before placing it under the seedling so that we can determine the weight of solely the seedling in the case that the parchment paper and seedling do stick to one another. Here is the weight of the parchment paper. Next, I will place parchment paper under both seedlings and take them to the oven. The oven should be set to 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius before putting the seedlings in the oven for 24 to 72 hours. Take the seedlings out of the oven consistently at regular intervals and weigh them. Once they have reached a consistent weight, or weigh the same each time you weigh them when you take them out and turn off the oven. Our seedlings are now consistent weight. Notice how they're both smaller and shriveled. The seedlings can now be weighed to test them against our seedlings before they were dried. Notice how our experimental seedling now weighs less than it did initially. That is because the water and other liquids have all evaporated, leaving only behind what the seedling has pulled out of the air, or if we've added an experimental factor that the seedling has taken into itself. Why would this even be important to know? Well, if you're testing to determine if a seedling was to take up a certain mineral, fertilizer, or soil, testing the dry weight of the experimental seedling against the control would help you determine whether or not that seedling had taken up more of that experimental solid material. As the water was sweated out of the seedling, leaving both seedlings with only what they have collected from the air or what was added to the water. This can also be done for seeds to determine if the seeds took anything up before they did or didn't germinate, or to just test whether or not one cultivar weighs more than another in their seed state.